What's up my people, my name is Spicy and you have one last day to participate in the giveaway to win one of the 4 Amazon gift cards. This is because we have reached the 2500 subscribers mark and I am grateful for all of your support. First, subscribe, then click the link in the description and get a chance to win. I've got some spicy IDontWorkHereLady stories for you today, so tune in, turn on the notifications to be part of the early gang, and leave a fire emoji in the comments if you are having fun with me. Congratulations Cheesy for the comment of the day, or Chicey, but you know who you are. Let me quickly embarrass you in front of the whole store. This happened a couple of years ago. There was this place where you could fix your PCs, get help fixing it, sell your old hardware, and buy new and used stuff. I visited this place regularly. One day, I was just starting a stress test on a machine I may wanted to buy, when out of nowhere, this old grumpy man appeared. It was something like, "Hey, you, my computer is damn slow. Fix it." He hands me his big tower and I nearly collapse under it. Actually, I don't work here, but I think I saw some random employee just around that corner. Sure. You can have your break later. Get your lazy ass down and fix it. I was running that stress test anyway and had spare time. So out of curiosity what his problem might be, I silently began my work on his PC. Some time went by and I saw all the usual stuff. A whole bunch of search bars, a bit of bloatware, and a moving desktop background that took way too much GPU load for such a PC. But then, I opened some of his folders and there it was. For that time, freaking big load of all sorts of porn. Not that I was not used to that, but I realized it is time for a bit of revenge. Okay, the best would be to save your private files on a USB and just reinstall Windows. Spare me with the tech talk and just fix it quick. 1 DB away from screaming. I am afraid your hardcore porn won't fix on a USB. It is just way too much porn. The old grumpy man went fire red in under a second and death stared at me. Some people began laughing. The old grumpy man stood up, ripped his big tower, still wired to one of those heavy old monitors from the desk, pretty much damaging all important components inside, and stomped out of the store. I felt pretty great, but was banned from the place for impersonating a staff member. I tried to explain, but to no appeal. Harassed at a Best Buy by a mom with anger issues. Now this all took place a couple years back when Best Buy was a bit more popular, as I've seen it decline in popularity. So anyways, I am at a Best Buy looking for a couple Xbox games for myself, since a friend has recently gifted me a $120 gift card for 2 new games. Now, it is important to note that I was wearing a blue polo short similar to the ones worn by the Best Buy employees. It was just by a happenstance, I suppose. I really did not think much of it at the time. Anyways, I am startled by a hand that reached over and grabbed my shirt collar and proceeded to tug it violently. I wiped my head around to see a larger woman, probably in her mid-40s, with a really pissed off look on her face. She then proceeded to practically yell at me, asking why the games were so expensive. At this point, I was so taken back by her ferocity and how quickly she just sprung up on me that I had not yet processed what was happening. I just managed to get out a weak "what?" She then said, "Don't act stupid. I said, why are the games so expensive?" At this point, I still had not processed she mistook me for an employee, so I just said in a rather puzzled tone, "What?" At this point, she was absolutely livid and said, "Why do I have to pay $60 for each effing game I get for my son? I already bought the console. Why do I have to spend more for the games?" At this point, it all clicked and I understood she had clearly mistaken me for an employee, so I followed up with the most reasonable, "Oh, I don't work here." She looked puzzled for a moment, then, with no remorse or apology said, "Then find someone who does." I sheepishly pointed to the other end of the game section, where lo and behold, there was an actual employee. She immediately stormed in that direction, and I went on to make my purchases. After that, I never really shopped at Best Buy again. because frankly, that experience just left a really bad taste in my mouth. Getting ready for my dick appointment. I am a young woman and I happen to be wearing all black while in a Victoria's Secret. I was waiting for my friend to get done trying on bras. So I was walking around and I made eye contact with this older girl, probably between like 21 and 24. And I smiled at her and she was just like, "Hey girl, you think I should get this?" And I was like, "I mean, it's cute, it looks good on you." I was really confused as I am just standing there like staring at her and she's like, "I have a dick appointment, you know, and I want to show up looking good." And I was like, "Alright, I got you, that's dope as hell." And she then asked, "Could you show where more in this style are?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't work here." And then we kind of just stared at each other. Weird bonding moment, but she was sweet? Well, hey, you gotta look good for a dick appointment. Twins. It is a confusing life, y'all. Back to the restaurant. Twin A, TA, which is me, and Twin B, TB. Random coworker, RC, and manager, M. Twin A is working up front. Random coworker comes up behind and bear hugs the first twin. The first twin elbows the random coworker and gives a dirty look before turning to help a customer who has appeared. Random coworker slinks back to kitchen, and I am later told the following conversation occurred. "What is wrong with Twin B today?" Rubbing the spot the first twin had elbowed. "Twin B is not working today." He gestures to the floor. "She's right there and acting weird." That's not Twin B. He is confused. "What? Who is that?" "That's Twin A, Twin B's sister." "What?" At this point, the first twin enters the kitchen and the manager relays the whole thing. The manager is highly amused. "Well, I guess that explains earlier. Don't ever grab me again." "Sorry, I didn't even know Twin B had a twin." "How long have you been working here?" "Like 6 months." This guy legit stage whispered to me, "Have I ever worked with you before?" "Tons of times, even on the same shift as Twin B." "What?" And the entire staff proceeds to mercilessly tease the random coworker for having managed to work with us both for months and never noticing there were two of us. So again, technically, I did work there, but I was not the employee he thought I was. You do realize I am picturing Fred and George Weasley in your stories? She does not even go here. Not quite an "I don't work here," but a scarily similar situation nonetheless. So, little second year of college me got out of classes early one day and decided to go get groceries with the spare time. The closest Walmart was through a nearby high school parking lot, so everyone and their mother always cut through to get there. I load up with my backpack and set out into the frozen Canadian tundra in search of frozen dinners and ramen. So I passed through the high school parking lot, and lo and behold, the little shits are getting out of school too. Parking lot is crawling with teenagers and teachers alike. And this is where it gets interesting, because I am trucking along when I am suddenly yanked backwards by my backpack and flipped around to stare at some middle-aged Karen looking lady. Students are supposed to wait for the buses to drive through before walking home. She tells me, all pissy, so I am confused as hell, and basically says something along the lines of, "Sorry, what? You heard me," she replies. "Wait until the buses come through, or I will be calling your parents about obeying safety rules." I am still short-circuiting at this point, and I say, "I think you've got the wrong idea," and then immediately cut off with her screaming at me to give her my name and my parents' phone numbers so she can call them right now and explain that their daughter is going to be in detention for the next 3 weeks if she does not smart enough. So I reply with, "I'm 21 years old. You can call my parents all you want, they are not gonna do nothing." She freaked out, followed by me being given detention at this high school I don't go to. It took me getting my wallet and showing her my goddamn driver's license to leave me alone. Like, I know I have chronic baby face, but come on lady. "Tell me how to fix my laptop, just tell me." At work this morning, I got a high priority editing request to be completed by close of business. Totally doable as long as the writing is not atrocious. I take a look. Thankfully, the author is just really verbose. So I am laser focused, in the zone, decreasing the absolute Christ out of his word count when this ridiculous phone call interrupts. "Hello there, this is me. My name is Pompous Emphasizer. I am trying to access one of your team's online training videos, but when I click on it, nothing happens." She is not screaming, just weirdly emphasizing those last 2 words in pure anger, as though I had intentionally wronged her. I am already annoyed. I don't work in IT, But I think when people had this issue, it was just a setting or control or something on their laptop that needed to be changed. If you will contact IT, they can let you know. But IT always has you on hold for at least 30 minutes. Just tell me how to fix it. Like, just tell me. Again, she's emphasizing. My annoyance intensifies. I don't work in IT because I don't work in IT. I don't know how to fix laptops. But if you will give them a call, they can help you. Do I just need to open up this program and then click on this button and change the setting to this other setting? Okay, that's it, I'm done. Will there be anything else? She makes angry huffing and puffing noises. Well, I guess so. The phone number to IT because I actually need it. Go to their intranet website and you will actually see it. And she hangs up. And with no further interruptions, I finished the priority job before close of business. Made it 2.5 pages shorter. Positive tale of shopping for leggings. My mother and sister both have hardcore resting girl face. Somehow I missed the jean. One fine day, I was in the local Bullseye store looking for some pantyhose. I was about to start a new job, no more retail for me, and thought it would be a good idea to have some for summer dress days. The standard dress clarification: employees at this store are well known to wear red shirts and khaki pants. I typically wear all black and was in my standard uniform of black jeans, black tee, long sweater on this day. As I got to the horsery section, an older woman looked up from her browsing. She held up a couple packs of leggings and asked me if I could help her find some more opaque ones. My many years of retail kicked in, and I went over to examine the leggings with her. She'd ask nicely, after all, and I was not in a hurry. We browsed for a good 15 minutes. She had a thick accent, so at a few points, it was hard to understand her questions, but we got through it. Eventually, we settled on two nice thick pair of leggings, one wine-colored pair and one black. As she placed her leggings in her basket, she turned to me and said, "I know you don't work here, but I really appreciate you helping me." I smiled back, wishing her a good night, and found my pantyhose. Not the typical story on here, but I thought it would still be nice to share, and that one made me happy. "Excuse me, sir, just happened a few minutes ago. I had to swing by Lowe's to pick up some mesh to patch drywall. As I walked down the aisle, there was a young girl sitting on the floor with big tubs of spackle in her hands inspecting them. Excuse me, sir, I know you don't work here, but is this the stuff you use to fill holes?" I pointed to her left hand. "Yeah, that one works fine." "Oh, thanks so much." She seemed so relieved that she picked the right one and that the stranger helped. I remembered the first time I moved out of an apartment and how overwhelming everything was. I always appreciated all the help I got, so I thought a little more could help. But don't get that giant tub. Get these smaller size ones. You will never use it all before it dries out, so you would save a few bucks. Plus, this pink one will turn white when it is dry, so you don't have to wait as long to paint if you're in a rush. Awesome! Thanks! Good luck! I kind of wish I had a little more time to go over some of the simple tricks to make it look nice, knowing I've saved money and security deposits after a decent touch-up job. No stringent fraud here, just a nice person who was appreciative of help. I always enjoy the rare nice interaction on the sub. Hopefully you do too. I like this story. It is refreshing for this subreddit to get a good one every now and then. And I like the people who acknowledge you don't work there but would like your help anyways. They are always super nice and polite. Old classmate does not recognize me and gets my name wrong. This happened about 2 months ago. I was about to leave a restaurant when I made eye contact with this guy. Let's call him Aaron. And I recognized him instantly. He was an old classmate of mine who I sat next to for about a year. He saw me and waved at me, so I decided to go over and say hi. I noticed he was with a few friends of his, including another old classmate who I recognized. Let's call her Bea. I was about to say hi when he snaps at me. "The service here is so bad. I thought this was a 5-star restaurant." I just stood there, stunned. Bea realized who I am and started to pull on Aaron's shirt. Aaron shrugged her off and starts ordering, but when he realized I was not writing anything down, he snapped again. "Is your memory that good?" Bea rolled her eyes and told Aaron I don't work here and I am an old classmate, which Aaron responded, "Julia? My name is not Julia." "Hey, please participate in the giveaway where I am giving you 4 Amazon gift cards. all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and click the link in the description. So go ahead and participate in the giveaway for 4 Amazon gift cards. Well, you will only get 1, but I am giving you 4. So you will find more I Don't Work Here Lady stories here, and please like this video if you are having fun. See ya!